I don't think congregations are aware of how difficult it is for the preacher to do what he or she does. I was at a workshop, another one of those preaching events I went to at Kirkridge in North Carolina a few years ago. There was a lineup of like 15 wonderful preachers, and I just could not go. Eugene Peterson, I've mentioned him before, but again, had a workshop on how do you, exactly the question you've asked me, how do you get the congregation or the church council to understand that I need time? And he was great. He said, well, you know what, you've got a calendar and you block out 2-3 hours a day. No one knows who's coming to your office for those 2 or 3 hours. You don't have to tell them. You're busy. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't meet with you then. No, we can't have that meeting then. No, I can't come and do that. No, I'm going to be working. And he said, and you might have to sneak away to another town and go to a movie. You just might have to do that in order to get that time for yourself. Or you might have to decide that that's the day you always go take a walk that afternoon, every Monday from 2 to 5. You always go and be by yourself, and you put it in your calendar, and it is inviolable. And once you get that pattern set, you will not be able to avoid doing that, because you will become so appreciative of the space that opens up in your spiritual life because of that time. And I think he's right. That workshop was packed. And the second time he did it, it was overflowing. They had to go find another room. I know how hard it is for pastors to get across to a congregation that very serious need. The other thing is that if the pastor, if the preacher says, okay, here, sits down with the council or the people in the church who call the shots really, and says, here are the things that I'm doing with my time. How many of these things could we really share? And help the congregation see that part of that ministry is theirs. The congregation is the body of Christ. And there is one person called to administer the sacraments and preach. And everyone can be helping with some part of it, because that worship on Sunday is so central and such a big part of the work. And I am increasingly running into congregations where congregation members just are taking all kinds of responsibility for all kinds of ministries and loving it. Being the ones who take communion every Sunday to the shut-ins, not the pastor, but a little group of people who have made it their ministry. And then the person who's shut in gets to visit with 3 or 4 people, not just the pastor. They may much more happily be able to visit with their other friends. That doesn't mean the pastor never goes to see the shut-ins, heaven forbid, but it doesn't have to be that one person's task every week. That sort of thing, I think. And then many of the administrative tasks of the church should be run by people who are in the assembly every Sunday and find themselves able to give of their time and their experience, expertise.